Hey, my name is Ben and this is another one on Obsidian. In this video I'm going to show you 10 plugins that can seriously boost your productivity. As always, no fluff, let's cut to the chase. Alright, so if you watched my past videos, you should know the drill by now. You got to go to the settings first thing and into your community plugins and turn on community plugins and then click browse, search for Kanban. Alright, why Kanban? As you know, task management is possible in Obsidian, but it's not very sophisticated. It is because of the nature of the application. It's a note-taking application, not a task management. But Kanban is completely possible because it gives you a flat board and columns, and you can drag and drop in between columns. And I believe a lot of people would like to have their entire project into the same application. So if you have project notes, you can have project tasks as well, and you can see the flow. So Obsidian and this plugin will make it possible for you to do all this together. So after you install it, check the options for yourself. There are plenty of options to play with, but there are a few of them that I would like to turn on. All these free options are visual, moving dates and tags to the footer of the cards, and also display a checkbox next to my card. And after you have done that, you can go back to community plugins and in your Kanban, assign a short key to your create new board. This is just to help you easily create a new board without right click and click anywhere on the application. So pressing the short key, now I created a new board. I'm gonna start creating my columns, name one backlog, which are the stuff that I still haven't touched yet, and are just ideas in progress when they are being worked on, then blocked, which is obvious and done. These are some common Kanban style columns, but they're not like written on stone, so you can have your own, whichever works for you. And then starting to create some tickets for demonstrations. You can see that you can assign dates even to your tickets. You can assign time if you right click on it. And most importantly, you can rename your Kanban board and create a folder for each individual Kanban board, which means that you're not limited to one. You can have multiple projects. You can have multiple Kanban boards, each for an individual project. So this is where it shines. It is a personal Kanban board with unlimited board you can create for free in compared to applications like Jira, like Trello, which are designed to be collaborative, but are really overkill for a personal use. This is Aqua, and it's gonna be on my dock from now on. Oh wait, I didn't tell you the full story yet. Aqua Voice is a clever AI dictation tool which lives as a standalone application on your desktop, and you can summon it each time you need to using a shortcut key. This is a title created by Aqua. Now let's start typing here. I mean, talking here. As you saw, Aqua Voice corrected everything, understanding the deep context. youtube.com/@Ben'sCyberLife. Did you see what just happened? I provided instructions using natural language. Meet Mason for lunch at 2 p.m. at 1:30 p.m. Public, static, class, student, open curly braces. I can even use Aqua Voice for casual coding and typing my syntax for me. Now let's try some vibe coding. Let's create a HTTP client with a post method. Change the base URL to localhost 5050. That was amazing. Aqua Voice detected the variable and the value itself from the screen using deep context. Aqua Voice got you everywhere. It's just one shortcut key away. Now you know why I decided to keep it on my dock forever. It's always useful to easily type dates, especially in applications like Obsidian, where you journal a lot. So natural language dates does that for you. If you install and enable this plugin, then it gives you a shortcut key, which is simply @. Then you can type your dates easily using your natural language. For example, tomorrow, today, 2 days from now, next week, next month. In the settings, you can see that I'm changing the options date format to have time, hour, and minutes as well. It's going to be useful for me. You can also change it based on your own preferences. Now let's try it out. So as I said, I can type @ today, tomorrow, even give it a time. Since I set the format to capture the time as well, you can see that I can give it even next week. It identifies the exact date automatically, and you can see that it's going to be extremely useful when you're journaling or if you are typing a lot of dates in your notes. It can also be combined with Kanban because you have a lot of cards that might take date time, so you can easily type your date using your natural language. Third one is for those who are visual learners and love a bit of color and branching in their notes. This one is called Mind Map, and as the name suggests, it creates mind map based on your notes. So once you install this plugin and enabled it, you can go back to Community Plugins and under Shortcut Keys, assign a short key for creating a new mind map based on your current notes. By the way, these short keys are the one that I assigned before and stayed in my configuration. By default, it should be blank. This plugin works perfect on outlines. For example, here I have a list of items and children. And then once I summoned the mind map plugin, it will start thinking a little bit and then generates the visual mind map, all the branches based on the outlines. And then once it's generated, I can start modifying this list to keep adding branches and sub branches to my mind map. Now let's take a look at how it works. If I add a parent item, it will create a parent branch for me. And each time I create a child, it will expand vertically. And each time I indent a child, which means that I'm making a subchild of an item, it will expand horizontally. I'm sure you got the concept how it works. But what are the other features? If I click on this 3 dot, you can see that I can pin the mind map, and also I can take a screenshot of the mind map and paste it anywhere I want. This can be inside the note, inside Obsidian, which will be stored as an asset, and also outside Obsidian. For example, in my Apple Notes or any other application that I am using. If you use Obsidian on your iPad as well, you should know that something extremely useful is missing, which is available in a lot of applications like Apple Notes. That's ability to draw. And that's exactly why they invented ExcaliDraw, a plugin that enables the ability to draw in Obsidian. ExcaliDraw is not only a plugin, it's a complete web application for drawing online. The plugin ports this web application into your Obsidian. The drawing ability in this application is very fluid. The experience is perfect. And it has some unique features that other drawing application or note-taking application do not have. For example, you can drop a photo, an image of a piece of code and use the AI features in this application to convert the wireframe into code, or even convert written text, which ExcaliDraw call it Mermet syntax, into flowcharts. Just like the other plugins, I'm going to assign a shortcut key for creating a new drawing in ExcaliDraw. And once I summon a new drawing, you can see that a new file is getting created for me and a folder as well, which is called ExcaliDraw, and a drawing with the current date time. This plugin has everything you need to draw, and it's completely usable and it's very fluid on the iPad as well using Apple Pencil. Some of the useful features are, for example, importing from the vault, importing any attachment. You can import photo from outside, upload it into Obsidian, and then use it in your newly created file. And overall, the plugin is very configurable, which means that, for example, for a pen or any drawing tools, you get different sizes of drawing, different colors, different shapes and formats. Undo and redo are completely functional. The plugin will come in 2 different themes, dark and light. If the light color disturbs your eyes, then you can change it to dark. And overall, I think the way they've done this plugin is a lot better than a lot of applications, paid applications that are available on iPad, for example. And those are even specialized for drawing and note-taking using Apple Pencil. And as you can see, the shortcut keys are also functional. For example, Ctrl Z or Command Z for undo and Command Y for redo. And then holding Shift while you're drawing shapes will give you a perfectly sized square or circle. Have you considered what to do when your notes expand and your vault become bigger and bigger? If you don't want that mess to ever happen to you and you want to manage and organize your notes, I suggest you install this plugin called Note Refactor. It comes with a preset of commands and very useful features such as extracting information from your notes or splitting them, and some predefined features such as collapsing and expanding your notes based on the headers or anything in your notes that can suggest a section has ended and another one has started. I strongly recommend you to browse through the documentation of these and learn about the commands and all the features that this plugin has to provide. But for sake of demonstration, I'm going to show you some of its features. Let's say I have an article which expanded a lot. So for that, I'm going to copy and paste some of these contents to simulate a very large document. And then as you can see on each title, when I create a title on this note, it gives me an arrow next to the title, which I can collapse and expand. And each time I create a header on a different section, it will be treated as a new section. This way I can hide some of the information that are not immediately necessary to me and focus on others. Let's go to the short keys of the plugin and check what we have. As you can see, we've got plenty of commands and useful features. I'm going to demonstrate extracting into a new note. So let's say we want to grab this piece of information and take it out of this very large article. Now I can use my shortcut key command and extract it into a completely new file that I defined here. And once I've done it, you can see that if I go back to the original file, it has created a link to the new note, and all the extracted informations are placed in the new note. Let's proceed to the next one, and I can't emphasize enough how useful this plugin was for me personally. If you have a very large vault with a lot of notes on it, and you use a lot of wiki links, then this one is for you. This one is called Hover Editor, and what it does is basically give you a glance and overview of what's inside a note and a link by a pop-up view without opening the notes or the link. This plugin is an extension of the Page Preview Core plugin, so make sure you go to the settings, Core plugins, and make sure the Page Preview is on. So once you have done it, now you can hold Command or Control on your Windows machine and hover on any notes or links, and you can see that it pops up as a preview on your Obsidian application. It works on the wiki links as well. It has also a set of features that you can play around with. For example, collapsing and expanding the header, pinning a pop-up, and then you can keep it permanently and open another one, and you can do the same as much as you want to the pop-ups. You can expand, minimize, and move the pop-ups around. By default, your previews are in read-only mode. So if you want to change that, you want to edit your pop-ups, you can do so by going to your settings and change the default mode to edit mode. Now if I open any pop-ups, you can see that I can directly edit in my pop-up. Next one is fairly small, but extremely useful. Let's say you have a URL and you want to paste it in your notes somewhere. By default, the presentation is not really nice. So what if, like many other applications, you want to place the link inside the text? So just to make it more presentable, there's this plugin called Paste URL into Selection. Once you install it and enable it, there are not much options to play with. It just does one thing and it does it right. So now I can type a text, and then once I select it and paste my link, you can see that my text is converted to the link and the URL is hidden inside of it. This next plugin makes working with outlines, ordered and unordered list much easier. Its name is Outliner. Once you install and enable it, you can play with the options. It comes with a set of predefined commands and things that you can modify. The demonstration shows how it works. You can drag and drop things around. You can use shortcut keys to move items around, and this is while keeping the hierarchy and order. For example, if a parent item has children and grandchildren, then once you move the parent around, it keeps the hierarchy, it keeps all the children in its place. So let's work it out, see how it works. You can see that once you grab the parents and move it to the root level, this plugin preserves the hierarchy. And using shortcut key, you can see that. You can do the same. Using tab and shift and tab, you can indent and remove the indentation. And using command shift up and down or control shift up and down, you can move the items around. And of course, the same operations are also behaving the same using mouse click drag and drops. The next one for you is two plugins that work perfectly together. One is Calendar. The Calendar provides a calendar, but with some additional features such as journaling. So once you install and enable it, you get this tiny icon here, which I get to that later. And the next one is Periodic Notes. Install and enable this one as well. And there are only a few options on this one. So once you install and enable it, go to Options. And once you enable any of these options, you can see the tiny icon appears here, which allow you to operate on this plugin. For my demonstration, I'm going to on daily, weekly, and monthly. And once enabled, let's drag and drop the calendar on the bottom of this screen. So we have access to the calendar view now. And you can see that each time I click on any of these days, it will create a journal for me on that day. The title would be the date of the day. And periodic notes as well provide you a few options that you enabled, creating daily, monthly, and weekly notes. These combo plugins are extremely useful when you're journaling and you want to keep a unified template in the title with your journals. And the last one is the godsend of all plugins. The name is Quick Add. And this plugin, I tell you, is so customizable and it gives you superpowers. It is so customizable with macros, templates, and shortcut keys that you can do literally anything via the commands, but you need to spend some time building them, and it's completely worth it. It comes with a set of things: templates, captures, macros, and multis. So let's start with the capture. What is a capture? Let's create a name for it, add it as a choice, and then go to the settings. Let's say I want to append anything that I select to a new note. I select the predefined command right to the bottom of file, and then assign a shortcut key for this plugin. Now trying out the quick capture that I just created. Select this piece of text, summon my plugin, append to, and I want to append to my work notes, which is a pre-existing note. And when I go there, you can see that the whole text copied and pasted there. It is impossible for me to go through all the features of this plugin because this plugin needs a separate, dedicated video for itself. But let's try another one so you see the power of it. Let's say I want to do the same with my text, but instead of appending to a file, I want to create a new file and append the selected text to the new file. So I'm going to create a macro for this, go to the settings, and then my first step is to copy. So I'm going to add copy. And then from the commands, I want to say create a new file after you copied the text. This is my second step. And then, because of the delay that it takes to create a new file, I want to say spend some time waiting only, maybe 300 milliseconds. And then paste, as simple as that. Now let's try it out. So I'm going to go back to the file, select a piece of the text, summon my plugin using the shortcut key, and then select the new macro, and you can see that a new file is created and all the text are appended to it. I can do unlimited things with it, even title my new file, add certain tags, add certain metadata, or even template, and then append that piece of text into the template. You can see that it's unlimited possibilities with this plugin.